Homes live here.
With Bayut, find real and authentic properties using TrueCheck. Download the app or visit Bayut.com.
Right, Dubai's rental market might be in a transition stage. That is the suggestion from the guys at Bayut. Very pleased to be joined by Fibha Ahmed, who is the Grand Queen of Sales at Dubizzle and Bayut. She also looks after their data. Tell me, Fibha, what do you mean by a transitional phase?
Good morning, Brandy, and thank you for that very interesting intro this time. By transition, what do we mean? So when we look at the data, when we look at the search trends, we look at the price trends this year, in the first half of this year, and compare it to last year, breaking down last year into two parts, which is H1 and H2, there is an interesting phenomena. So when I compare rental prices across apartments and villas in this year versus the first half of last year, we see about a 12% price hike. But when you compare it to the last half of last year, right, which is July to December leg, that price increase is not 12%. It's down to 5%. And interestingly, you see pockets within communities for property types and bedroom types show a different picture. In some locations, you would see prices are still holding steady, whereas for certain property types or bed types, they are showing a decline, single digit, but a decline. So which we call it as a transition as to what we've seen in the last couple of years.
Okay, where are we seeing a decline?
Decline mostly seen in areas where there is new inventory coming to the market or where people are getting priced out. Now, there are two things to see here. Now, when new inventory come to the market, it could possibly demand a higher rent, whereas the existing properties in that location could just go through a stabilization of prices. And unless you've upgraded your property in well-established areas like the Dubai Marina downtown, you wouldn't be able to claim those premiums. So areas where we're seeing moderation is, if I look at the affordable segment apartment-wise, in Bur Dubai and Deira, 1 and 2 bed apartments have seen slight fluctuations, showing that the prices probably would have peaked and people are looking to branch out. When I look at the mid-segment, JVC prices held steady and did not increase. This could be attributed to new supply coming to the market. In your luxury segment for apartments, we see the Marina, downtown, all of these areas have seen a very steady increase overall in prices, up to 1 to 3%, I would say, and some property or bedroom types have seen a decline in prices. Interesting thing to note would be that in downtown and Business Bay, where we've seen the most increase in demand as compared to last year, would be your high-end 2 to 3 bed apartments. So it's a mixture, yeah. Overall areas have seen quite a lot of moderation in rental hikes. But then if you look at pockets and you do your research properly, use tools that are available on Bayut, you will be able to find yourself a deal.
Transitioning, though, to what? Transitioning to lower rents, transitioning to stable rents, transitioning to rents falling off a cliff?
Falling off a cliff would be a bit too much at this point in time. As I mentioned, 5% increases compared to last half of the last year is still decent. But yes, it's not as high as what we've seen in the last couple of years. There was a lot of anticipation about roughly 70 to 80,000 units coming to the market. We've seen about 17,900 units come so far, mostly in the apartment segment. So I would say in the apartment segment, you would see the prices kind of moderating, stabilizing. And like I mentioned earlier, for certain property types, might be seeing a decline, single digit, slight decline. However, in the villa communities and the luxury segment, we still anticipate the prices are going to stay steady or go higher.
What does this mean for the stock that is not just being built, but still being announced at the moment? Because, you know, lower rents are obviously fabulous for those who are renting. And as Rich always likes to point out, that is the majority of us. We, however, and developers who are launching these properties, a lot will be relying on landlords to buy them, people to buy them for investment, to rent out. Lower rents mean lower yields. Could that mean less appetite for some of the new stock?
I would say that if you look at Dubai as a whole, we're still relatively very, very competitive and in a good space when it comes to rental returns as compared to the rest of the world. Now, in a market where majority of the investors are foreign investors, when they do a comparison of Dubai to any of the global cities, they would still see it a lot more attractive. So yes, when you do your investment, you have to bear in mind where you're looking to invest. Is this investment going to be near let's say, Etihad rail stations, right? There's a lot of anticipation that everything that a metro touches increases in value. So, yes, when you do your future investment or do your research, look at the areas that are upcoming, look at the areas where there is margin to gain capital appreciation, but also see how is it connected. Interestingly, when we look at the stats on our platform, and as Bayut GPT tells us, people search when they're renting, and the keywords that they use are near the metro. They look at furnished. They look at brand new. Now, when you look at these three elements, brand new apartment, furnished, closer to a transportation hub, that's a good deal that you can safely think that is going to continue to give you good rental yields as compared to the rest of the world.
Okay, that's interesting. So those are the filters and the keywords that you're seeing people put on. Furnished. What does that tell us? Does that tell us new entrants into Dubai?
Possibly. It could tell us new entrants into Dubai. And as we've seen this year, we have roughly about 200,000 residents come to Dubai and make this their home. So definitely in a city like Dubai, which is constantly attracting more people with the population goals that we have, we do expect a lot of new entrants, and when somebody moves, as you must have done, and when I did, you don't want to get bothered about furnishing, so your first preference is to look for something furnished. So yeah, I mean, as an investor, you have to put in a little bit of money, furnish your apartment, make sure the location is accessible, is good, and has capital appreciation margin, and your rental returns are safe.
1 minute left with you. It is the first day back at school this morning. In those filters that people are searching for, are they looking for locations that are near schools?
Absolutely. That's one of the hot favorites. Location near school, location in general, then comes your bedrooms, then comes extra amenities. Another popular search is a gym facility in a building. So all of these show that people do their research keenly and they look into different details. And location matters, definitely, but also what's going to happen to that location in the future is a very important element. So bear that in mind when you're looking for good rental returns.
Fibha Ahmed is the VP of Sales at Transitional and Bayut, coming in with the numbers that they see in what we are searching for this morning. Thank you very much for your time.